Hello and good evening and good afternoon, everyone. That's very nice that you could tune in. Yes, indeed, Christina. I was wondering that as well. What is Rod thinking watching The Avenger? So he won't be with us today, but hopefully we're still going to have a good time boarding the Aurora there. Very interesting that that you mentioned that this is perhaps a bit clearer because, of course, today I'm using my new RTX 2080 graphics card in a brand new computer. So one of those interesting experiments. Yesterday's stream went really well. I did it in 60 frames a second as well, like today's stream. So let's see what it looks like today. Maybe I should start by actually starting the game. That's always a good idea, and we'll see what shall happen. So there we go. This should, with a bit of luck, pop into action. Does it? It does. There we go. So this is our game live. And I've been playing the other Subnautica game. There's a brand new Subnautica game currently under development. It's called Below Zero. And in this little box there, you can see that they, every once in a while, once a month or once every 2 months, they bring out updates. It's currently in early access. And the most recent update is the so-called Snowfox update. And that is something where they're just adding another biome and another, predator and another level and all that to it, and it's not quite obvious where the next update is going to go. So we had a lot of fun running around some kind of a snowstorm in a glacial basin earlier, and we got lost. That's the God honest truth about it. It's not really a playable game yet, but you can see how they're building a game like that over time. I mean, it takes like 3 to 5 years to build that game. Perhaps it's going to be a bit quicker now that they know what they're doing. But currently, we're still missing a story, and there are some things that just generally missing from that whole experience. So let's see if we can make that happen over the next, I guess, few months, perhaps years. I don't know how long it's going to take to build Subnautica Below Zero, but I'm excited. I'm interested to see where that story is going to go next. But today we're going to go and board this ship here, namely the Aurora, that brought us to planet 4546b. And the thinking, of course, behind it is that if we find goodies in these smaller wrecks that are dotted around our neighborhood, what are we going to find in this super massive wreck with all the bits and bobs that are hopefully still on board? So let's see, shall we? I'm excited. I've explored this ship once or twice before, so I have a pretty good idea of what's gonna happen there. But it'll be so exciting to do this together, and let's see if we can in fact do that. So new graphics card and the implications. So the idea is that now we should have a slightly higher frame rate throughout. That's the idea. I suppose, yes, I think we can see that already. The frame rate is a little bit higher. And let me go full screen so you can go and see everything properly. So the frame rate was good before, but it was between 30 and 40 frames a second. And now it looks like we're having a fairly solid 40, 50, sometimes even 60 frames a second when I walk around. So that is good. How's the picture quality so far for you guys? Is that something that's good, acceptable, better? Christina says it's a bit clearer even. That is good to know. There are other implications as well. There's the OBS streaming software that's been updated, but that's about a month or two ago that they did that, and they implemented something that makes use of a new way that NVIDIA cards encode video. So before that, it worked, but now it happens to be more efficient. So you get more quality out of that graphics card. And it could well be that they're using some algorithms that work better with this new card. So we'll see what happens, shall we? Good to know. Hey, Christina, what is your download speed there at the moment? Do you have a good internet there? That's one of those things you were saying the other day that was a little bit hairy at your home. If it looks good, that is really good. Very smooth. I love it. Thank you so much, Biscuits. That's good to know. I'm going to go and start frittering some of these things away. I don't think we've actually done that last time. We just saved this and then we left in a hurry. But right now, let's go and see if we can fritter some of these things away. Perhaps we need to make new cupboards. We do we have any salt? Yes, salt is here. A bit of quartz. Quartz can go in here. There we go. Lead. I think we have a dedicated lead locker. I think somewhere. Lead. There we go. I knew it. Okay, 2.6 is not bad. That is good. That's good, and it's definitely going to get a little bit higher as soon as they've implemented that new internet connection in your village, right? Hopefully. I'm asking because I'm thinking of doing a test soon on Microsoft's Mixer platform. And Mixer is something that is a bit like YouTube and Twitch. It's more like Twitch, I believe, in that it's for live streaming video games, but I suppose all kinds of other things as well. And the idea behind Mixer is that they have a different protocol. Put the ruby in this random locker here together with some gel sacks in case we do need them. Perhaps I'll go and drink this water. There we go. Let me go and grab some more water and some more fish from the outside. I think we've got some that may be trapped in our graph trap over here. While I'll tell you about Mixer. So the thing with Mixer is the latency is lower. And that means that the delay between something happening on my computer and it arriving on your computer is much faster. So currently we have, even with the lowest latency setting that I can get on YouTube, I have about 5 to 8 seconds that it just takes for the signal to go from me to YouTube servers and then be transcoded, and then it can go to you all. And the advantage of that way of working is that YouTube is very kind. They go and transcode the signal into varying resolutions. So no matter how high I stream the signal at, YouTube will transcode it and then offer something for slower internet connections, which is why Christina can now see the stream fluid, while other people who have a higher internet connection can see a higher quality and still see it fluid. And so that's important to remember, because Mixer works with a different protocol that's called the FTL protocol. Currently, I believe we're using RMTP or RTMP. I think it's RMTP. That's the protocol that exchanges the packets between me and YouTube. And on Mixer, they're using a different protocol. And that protocol makes this latency go down to about 1 second or even less than a second. I think that's enough fish for now, so there we go. And that means you can interact with me quicker. So if I'm standing in front of this door and I have to have a decision to make, if I have to go left or right, then you don't have to wait 10 seconds to receive that and then tell me in the chat. You can do that immediately, and that means we can exchange chat much quicker, and you can interact with the game. And I'd love to try this out. So Twitch doesn't do that. Twitch has pretty much the same latency as YouTube does, but Microsoft's Mixer is extremely fast. Also, I'm told. So I'd love to try this out. So perhaps we can do this. We can do this one day and pick a different game and just have a few test sessions. What do you think? You up for that? I would love to try that. I'm going to cook myself some fish for now. There's even a technique that allows me to stream to a platform called restream.io, and that's a service, I believe they're based in the Ukraine. And I'm going to make some food to take away, so I'm going to take some cured food with me. Cured food is made with salt and fish, and then they last longer, so they don't go off while we're traveling to the Aurora. So I'm going to go and cure these things. They're a little bit more salty, but they don't go off, so we can have a snack when we get there. Then I think this one I'm just going to go and cook. So Restream is a service to which I can stream, and they then connect to my various accounts like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, even things like Picarto and all kinds of other interesting services. And that will then redistribute the stream live. So that's another very interesting thing that we can try one day. So with that, that means I could stream simultaneously to multiple platforms. It's very exciting. 88%, yeah, shall we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and exchange that battery as well. This is our new propulsion cannon, by the way. We're going to need that when we get to the Aurora, because there's some things that we need to just get out of the way, like boxes that block entrances. So that's what we need that for. Then we're going to have this guy, which is the laser cutter. Now this should also have a fully powered battery. Let's put that in there. Cool. And the other batteries we can now go and put into our charging station. This is our food to take away. This is some water we can take away. We don't need that salt anymore, so we can leave that here. I'm assuming we're going to go and find quite a bit of stuff, so I'm going to try and empty out my inventory as much as I can so that we have enough room to bring stuff with us. I've currently got the radiation helmet in my possession, but I think the Aurora is the reason, and I'm wearing the rebreather here, look at that. The Aurora is the reason why we experience some radiation regularly here in the neighborhood. So I'm going to go and put my radiation helmet on to shield myself from that. And the rebreather is only good when we go below 100 meters in depth. So I think I'm going to leave that here. That will also leave some room in my inventory here. This I'm going to eat, I guess. Lamp, knife, habitat builder. I don't think we need that over there, so perhaps I'm going to leave the habitat builder here as well. Scanner is good. The repair tool will come in handy, and of course there's the laser cutter. So all that's charged up. I don't have my sea glide here with me because I don't think I need it. Where is my sea glide, by the way? Oh, there it is, yeah. Sea Glide is in the equipment locker, of course, so that's good. Righty, my Sea Moth itself should be charged up. I wonder, so we're going to use the lamp here, the flashlight. We can probably assign that to a quick slot there so we can go and whip it out anytime we need it. Oh, there we go, 28%. That's not good, so I think that needs to be exchanged with a new battery. These are still charging up. That's cool. We're going to let that happen. I believe there's one other thing. I wondered if we have that already. It's called a light stick. I don't remember if we've got that. Perhaps it's under equipment or tools. Tools, perhaps. So we have the flashlight here that we could make. And there's another. Oh, there we go. It's on the bottom here. Light stick. Our ingredients are known. So that means we haven't quite found what we need for that in order to build that. The light stick is a little bit like the flashlight, but it gives a little bit of different light. So I like the light that the flashlight gives. It's kind of a cone light from here in dark areas. It really lights up those caves really well. But the light stick never runs out of power, so that makes it very, very valuable. 100%. I think that's good to know, isn't it? I think we're going to go and grab that. 100%, and perhaps we're going to grab maybe one more. There we go. That can stay in there. Now we're going to go and exchange the battery in the lamp, perhaps to this one, and then we're going to go and switch that off and make sure we're going to put the empty-ish one back in here. We'll take one with us just in case. I believe that is it. I believe that's it. Let's go see the Aurora and see how we can board that thing. We're going there with our Sea Moth, of course. No one would swim there. Fully charged. Health, 77%. Well, maybe before we even get going, can we repair that here? No, we can't repair it when it's in the dock. So I'm going to go in there. And I'm going to go and repair that here. It's always good when things are repaired. There. Aurora Rendezvous Point Dry Land. Well, we're going to explore it at one point, but today is Aurora time. this is where we need to go. That's that thing that totally crashed. Yes, let's have a go there. So there used to be 2 entrances into the Aurora. Currently there are not anymore. So I'm just going to go and drive around the whole wreck until I find it. See what else we find in the neighborhood. So I've noticed even with the new graphics card there are still some frame rate issues, so it doesn't look extremely smooth, but I believe that is down to the game, so I don't think that is a graphics card issue, nor would it mean that my old graphics card was in any way to blame. It's just the nature of the game loading a lot of stuff in, I guess.
The Aurora's radioactive coolant will determine effects on the alien ecosystem if not contained within the next 24 hours.
Well, that's why we're here. Perhaps while we're there, while we're having a look inside the Aurora, we can also have a look if we can maybe switch this radiation leak off. That'd be quite nice. Oh. It looks like this is shaking as well, so I'm not entirely sure if this was a great idea to go this way. Oops, that's not good. See what's on the other side of the Aurora. This is kind of just as interesting as seeing what's on the other side of the moon. If you've never seen it, you think, well, it stands to reason that the moon perhaps looks exactly the same as it does look like from the side that we constantly see, but perhaps it looks different. I don't know, perhaps it's purple, I don't know. So this is the dark side of the Aurora, more or less. Just looks as damaged as it did on the other side, didn't it? There's one thing that happened when Julia and I played the Below Zero this morning. There was, I think, at the same spot, so I think it's a bug in that current build there, in the current upgrade, in what they've released there. Whenever there's a similar vehicle to the Seamoth, that's the one we're using right now. There's a similar vehicle to that in the new Subnautica game, and the one that's currently under development, and that is called the Sea Truck. It's a modular vehicle that's a little bit like the Seamoth, but you can also dock other items towards at the back, so like a sleeper module and then all kinds of other fabricator module and all that. So you can take that on the road with you. And the thing that happened was when we went to a certain spot, it looked like the game crashed. And not only did it crash, it basically reset my whole computer. And that was a bit disconcerting. It happened about 3 times, and that was just, that was terrible. So from memory, this is where we get in somehow, somewhere. There's some kind of ramp that we're going to find. This looks like the ramp here. It's shaking pretty bad. I think I'm going to park my Seamoth here and do the rest on, well, I was going to say on foot, but it's more like I'm going to do it by swimming there. This doesn't look inviting, does it? Oh, I think it's slightly further up here, so I think this is not where we go on. My God, look at that moon. So glad I'm wearing my radiation suit. I think this is where we go on. Let me grab my Seamoth again and just go slightly further over there. I think that is where we're going to go on board. It's all destroyed. What a shame. I don't suppose there's a chance that we can ever repair this and make our way home in that. Well, there's some blue sparkles underwater. Yeah, that can't be healthy. Yeah, power cables. That doesn't look good, does it? I don't think we can pick any of this stuff up. I think those are pieces of debris that are just a little bit too big. Oh, and the noise and those vibrations and... oh, that's crazy. Okay, I'm going to park up here, and this is where I'm going to try and walk up this ramp here. We'll see if that works. We're still 100% healthy, that's good. I think I'm going to leave my lights on as well. That makes it maybe a little bit easier for me to find my Seamoth later. Bye, Seamoth. Don't you go anywhere. Yeah. Ow. Oh. I think these guys we should incapacitate. Oh, we haven't scanned him yet? My God. This looks all very broken and really hostile and very dangerous. But very nice fire effects. I mean, look at this. This is very, very good. With the smoke and everything. Ugh. Let's just hope this whole ship isn't going to blow up in our faces. Ow. Cave crawler. Okay, come on. We're just going to go scan you. Indigenous life form, cave crawler. Ow. Do you know what we didn't bring? Health packs. Assessment, necessary waste recycler. Ow. Avoid or incapacitate. Ow. So perhaps incapacitate. The only weapon we actually have is the knife. Right, come here you. I believe though once you've incapacitated them all, they just leave you alone. There, that's this guy incapacitated, i.e. not moving anymore. He has friends. This is just like what humans would do, isn't it? Go to a different planet and then just kill everything. That is just what we would do. Ow. But then, you know, there's always the self-defense argument. But then no one's exactly invited us to this planet either, have they? So... Vetricator, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. We're just about to board the Aurora here, but we're going to have to go and fight these horrible little critters here. There's so many of them. So many of them. I can see them everywhere. And you know what I didn't bring? Oh yes, Julia said to have a look in the boxes. There may be some health packs in there. Oh my God, that's exactly what we need. That is a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of bringing some. I brought some food and some water bottles, some of which we do also find on board the Aurora, which is quite nice. Another box? Oh yes, there's another box. Thanks. And there's also another critter. Ow. Incapacitated. Ah, fantastic. That is what we need. I also didn't bring a fire extinguisher either. Are you dead already? You're not. Oh my God. Yeah. You go away. And the knife is seriously the only weapon we have. Hey, Mr. Batsu! How's it going? Good afternoon. Hey, I saw your render on Twitter just earlier when I posted the link to this video. And I didn't think it was bad. You didn't like it? You're not quite happy yet? I think she looked beautiful. Very exciting to hear that you're making a game. I was wondering what engine you're going to be using for that. Is it Unity? Unreal? Ow. My God. Yeah, you run away from me. So I think before I try and make my way through here, I'm going to try and go to get as many of these guys as possible, because once I've gotten them, they will not come back. And they jump at you. That's terrible. And they look like they just have this one eye at the top. That's just crazy. There is a finite amount of them, so they don't respawn. Once they're dead, and they stay down. But I guess as a player experience, it just sets the mood for the fact that, hey, this isn't going to be a fun and exciting environment to go explore. This is going to be terrible.
Caution. Scans show the digestive tracts of nearby life forms contain human tissues.
That is not good. Human tissue inside these crawlers, not what we want to hear. Oh, RenPy. I don't think I've heard of that. It sounds like it's a Python script. I've never heard of that. A visual novel? That sounds exciting. Let me know how it goes. I'm always interested to hear how you can put these things together. And some work updates, very much appreciated. Let us know of any issues you run into. Yeah, battery. Always good. Let's grab that. Another box up here. Another health pack. I like it. That's 2 health packs now. That's good. Oh yes, I remember. This was the way to go. All this looks a bit like a dead herring. I suppose the other strategy to get over here would literally be just go to run and just try and avoid all these critters altogether. Ow. Oh my god. Where'd that come from? Best make a move here. Oh yes, more critters, always good. Do fight in packs. Ouch. Yikes. You dead? You're not dead yet, are you? Ow. There. Rod, you're back! Nice to see you. What a lovely surprise. How was the Avengers movie? Rod went out with friends today to see the Avengers movie. Very exciting. Ah, those spiders are terrible, aren't they? And they look super scary as well with this one eye at the top here. This is, oh, somebody had a lot of fun designing these things as well. And you know, when I walked on this for the first time, I don't think I went on board the first time. We just explored this and didn't even go in because we were missing a couple of tools that were necessary to get in here. Ah, now that is probably what we're going to need, a fire extinguisher. And medkit. Yes, let's go and grab one. Let's take one. Yeah, there we go. Makes us feel a lot better. So, with that fire extinguisher at hand, I believe, let's extinguish this so we can go through this door without getting killed. There's another supply crate there. With another battery. Okay, good. Whew. I think the worst is over. Looks like we're on board the Aurora and we've survived. Not sure if we still have our sanity, but I'm certain we're on here. Airlocks, yes, I guess that's how we got in. Now, the key element, the key ingredient of strategy, of course, is that we need to conserve our supplies.
Are running on local reserve power, unable to remotely download black box data.
Propulsion cannon fragment. So we have the propulsion cannon already, but let's see if that's maybe an add-on or something. No. Okay. And we have an abandoned PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
Engineering drone. How interesting. Ugh, cave crawling. He was terrible. Data downloads. Aurora survivors. Drone log. Oh, let's listen to that.
Exiting sleep mode. Loading voice recognition. Engineer Barclay and Chief Technology Officer you identified.
Drone, get me a propulsion cannon.
Repulsion cannon retrieved.
Hey, Berkeley. Install that circuit box with that repulsion cannon and you'll punch a hole in the cargo bay.
Damn it, drone, I said propulsion, not repulsion. Recalibrate sensors.
Senses recalibrated.
Sensors aren't the problem. I tweak the program. It's like you now. It doesn't like being told what to do.
Drone, I know...
His name's Albert now.
Albert, I know it's not your fault, but it would really help me do my job if you bring me what I asked for. Thanks for your time.
Propulsion cannon retrieved.
Thank you. Now go away.
Entering hibernation mode.
Boss, this hobby of yours isn't making my job any easier. Or safer.
Maybe so, but it's all that's stopping me from being so bored I take a spacewalk in my skivvy.
All right. Good to know. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the Avengers. Maybe we should go and see that. Sounds exciting. It is sometimes incredible the amount of CGI work that's involved in those movies. So it looks like we have two options to proceed here, left and right. We've got the administration section and we've got cargo bay 3. So I think we should go and have a look at administration section first. And then once we've explored that, we're going to go over to the cargo bay. This is kind of the longer route. So this is going to take us a while to do that, whereas this is just a single room to explore. I don't know how many fire extinguishers we're going to find here, so we're going to go and leave those fires burning unless we absolutely have to, like in this case. So this looks like we really have to extinguish that in order to get through that room. There. Ow. Oh, it comes back on? Oh, no, it wasn't quite off yet. Ah. Damn. So we've got another PDA, notes to self.
Integrating new PDA data.
Well, maybe we're going to have a listen to that when we get back to the base here. But this prawn suit poster, I think we should take that. That'll make our base a lot more homey. Let me pick up that pen. I always wanted an Altera pen. Data terminal, okay, good. Altera launches the Aurora. That sounds exciting. So perhaps we can... Well, more batteries, good stuff. Those are all things I think we should listen to when we're back in the safety of our home or of our base. Nice desk. We've got one of those already. A trash can. Was that it already? That wasn't so bad, was it? Did we download this? Yeah. Oh, we did that already. Cool. That was it. That's the whole administration section of the Aurora. Excellent. Let's make our way over to the cargo bay and see what exciting goodies we find there. Cargo bay 3. That kind of hints at the fact that there may be more. Do you know, I don't think I've ever looked at anything behind here. I don't know if that goes anywhere. Maybe it doesn't, but I'm kind of interested to find out what happens. Trying to see... Ow, ow, ow. That's not good. Ow! No way, I died? Oh, man. That's terrible. You died and lost some belongings. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Oh man, that's unexpected. Brian, how's it going? Brian Kramer, aka Zero Kelvin. Very exciting to meet you. It was actually on Brian's recommendation that I bought this RTX 2080. It's very exciting stuff. We were chatting about DAZ Studio render speeds, and Brian caught last week's stream of Subnautica Saturday, and he said, hey, I'm using this card and it's working really well. And I thought, that is the so-called AMP edition. So I thought, that's exciting. I'm going to go and grab that myself. And now I have it. Also, thanks to Patreon donations, this was possible. It's very exciting stuff. I was able to buy that, spreading the payments for the next, I think, 4 or 5 months on Amazon. And now we get to enjoy Subnautica at a higher frame rate and hopefully faster and better DAZ Studio tutorials. Medkits, that's a great point. Thank you. Julia just made an excellent point. Grab some more medkits while you're there. So when you die, in this game, you're teleported to your nearest base. Whatever base is closest to where you just died, that is where you're going to end up. And I believe I've got at least one medkit here. Perhaps I've got some stashed away in here. No, what a shame. Well, one's better than none. Perhaps I should also take the opportunity to eat something while I'm here. Actually, that's a good idea, isn't it? Let me eat something here. Do I have one? Yes, in the base, don't I? These are flares here, I think. Yes, I have another fire extinguisher in the base. That's a great idea. Maybe I can even build another one. Do you think that's necessary? I think I've got a fire extinguisher down here. Wow, boarding the Aurora, take 1, failed miserably. That's not good. That is a very, very good idea. So I've got, look at that, 100% charge. That's great. I'm going to leave those 2 here because they last longer. And I'm going to grab some fresh fish. Charged up batteries. I'm going to replace those batteries while I'm here as well. Grab those, and then all my gadgets can be 100% charged. I think that's a very wise idea. Scanner, well, it's not that difficult, but you know, every little helps, as they say. So charge all those up, grab some food. Oh, there's nothing in my trap. That's terrible. Okay, let's pick that up and go somewhere else. There, lots of peepers around. Aha! Fantastic. I think all we need now is the stasis rifle. And this is really interesting. Some peepers have this closed eye phenomenon, others do not. That is just crazy, isn't it? Perhaps some are more mutated than others. That, I don't think we can eat him. Can we eat him? The stasis rifle would make it a lot easier to just freeze all these fish in place, and then we can just go pick them up very easily. Oh, we can eat you. Good stuff. Maybe I'll put that peeper away. So there's another one here. Whoops. Oh, that wasn't my intention. Picked up the grav trap by accident. There we go. Aha. Bladder fish, yes, always good. Come on, there. There. Perfect. We'll leave the graft trap there and have a bite to eat. Put my boomerang away. Can you imagine I just suffocate here in the comfort of my own home? That's just terrible. Yes, Rod, it is. Absolutely. It is the new 2080, RTX 2080, the non-TI version, because that was $500 cheaper than the TI version. And according to tests, it looks like it's not much slower under DAS Studio than the TI version is. So I suppose the difference between, why is this one rotten? That's terrible. This one's rotten. I forgot to eat that. Oh man, I don't think I should be eating that. So I'm gonna go throw that away. Do we have our trash can still? We used to have a trash can to dispose of these things. Maybe we'll just quickly build one. Let's do that. Let's build a trash can, put that rotten boomerang into the trash can. There. I think we'll put that in the multi-purpose room, perhaps, you know, here, where any good trash can would belong. And perhaps that habitat builder can go here because we don't really need anything fishy. Put that light here. There we go. That's perfect. Trash can. Where are you hiding? Trash can. Don't we have a trash can? I thought we had a trash can somewhere. Am I making that up again? Could have sworn we had a trash can. One of the first things we built in our base. Oh, there it is. Trash can. And of course we've got the nuclear waste disposal as well, because you know you need that. I need to get some platinum to make my dream come true of building a trash can. Right, trash can. Meet everybody. Everybody meet the trash can. And the trash can works like a locker, so I can put something in, like the rotten cooked boomerang, and in a moment or so, it'll just disappear from the game world. There, boom. I don't think there's any chance of taking this back. Whatever you put in there, it disappears. So perhaps while we're here, let's go and put that prawn suit poster on the wall. Perhaps, you know, here. Ta-da! Yeah, that's nice. Ooh. I did have one, didn't I, Christina? I think I maybe have just gotten rid of it when I remodeled the base and added that wonderful, what's it called, the observatory here, where we can sit and contemplate on our next steps. And listen to the nice music that happens. Whenever you set foot into that, it'll go and play that nice music. Yes, Rod, that's exactly right. The TI version has 11 gigabytes of RAM, and the non-TI version has only 8 gigabytes. When I say only, I mean, you know, it's crazy. But yeah, that is the difference. So some of the iRay scenes that you want to render that are large, they need a lot of memory. So with iRay, unlike CPU rendering, everything needs to fit into the iRay or into the GPU's memory, and only then can the whole scene be rendered. So if there's not enough RAM available for larger scenes, it would mean that sometimes the scene would render with kind of, you know, black spots, or not black spots as so much, but objects would be kind of blacked out, and then, you know, they just wouldn't exist there. The only flavor is salt, dehydrating but keeps well. Let's do that. So we can take that guy with us, and I think I'm going to put some of them into my locker here. I believe, from what I remember, there are some. Put these guys in here, and these I'm going to take with me. And this guy, maybe this guy I'm going to cook. There we go. There are some nutrition blocks on the Aurora, so we're going to find some food on the Aurora. Right, make sure to eat the stuff that could go off. Protein-rich eyeballs. Highly nutritious. Great. There. So, and I think I'm going to use my sea glide to make it over there. I'm not sure I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll leave that second oxygen tank here. Is that a good idea? Or take the second oxygen tank. See, I'm just concerned about the storage space. I'm going to have to take my sea glide now, otherwise it'll take me forever to get to the Aurora. But I don't think I need that oxygen tank. Or do I? See, I leave it here and I will regret it. I know that. Well, tell you what, let's take the sea glide. We can always leave it there and then just come back later. I think what may be beneficial in addition to all this is perhaps to take a beacon, just in case we do leave something behind that we want to perhaps, you know, retrieve at a later date. What do you think? I think that may be a good idea. Beacon anywhere? I think there's a deployable beacon. Copper and titanium. Yeah, let's make one beacon and take that with us. Titanium, check. Copper in the copper locker. Oh, we have no copper. Could that be in one of the random lockers? No, I'm very particular with filing things away here. Okay, no beacon, forget it. Now, do we have anything? Everything. Pick another health pack, perhaps, from our health pack replicator up here in the pot. There's also another radio message we can listen to, but I think we'll do that later. We'll deal with one thing at a time here. Grab that. Grab that sea glide and make our way over to the sea moth. Yes, Rod, I think canvases are about it. That's kind of Ire's way of implementing render passes. And something I totally forgot to mention yesterday, if you set up multiple canvases and then you save a picture out, no matter if it looks white or black or if it's actually a usable picture, it means that more than one folder is saved alongside those that picture. So it's got the picture file name, out of whatever, test.png, and then it will also have a folder, one folder, subfolder for every canvas in which you'll find those EXR files. So if you have more than one canvas, I believe, from what I remember, DAZ Studio will make multiple passes for that file. So from what I understand about render passes, they're not specifically created. Every time you just make a render, those passes are happening in the background anyway, and this render pass feature only separates them out so that they are created in the background no matter if you use them or not. But this render pass feature, or the canvases feature, they then basically expose separate images from that. It doesn't really take longer to render either, which is kind of nice. If my memory serves me right, I remember render passes or multiple render outputs in Carrara. Carrara supports that feature as well. And I believe Blender does as well. Blender's a tiny bit difficult to get going in that respect, but it does certainly work. Now here's the big question. If I were to leave my sea glide here, perhaps here, will that stay here? Or will that just roll down and go to the bottom of the ocean? Let's see what happens if I go and drop that here. Oh yes, that's what I had expected. So don't do that. Just go and maybe, if we do that, perhaps we'll put it here. Here even. Then it can't really roll down. I think that's a great idea. Let's put that here. And equip that knife. Very important. Let's go put that knife into this slot here. And I think we need the light. We've got the light. Yeah, the habitat builder we really don't need. We probably need this. Definitely go and equip that knife. And ow, no! Killed by creepy guy. We probably missed the first time around. There. Yeah, cool. So this is our sea glide. It looks like it's in place. I hope it's going to be here when we get back. Tell you what, let's try my other strategy of running really quickly and see if we can just outrun these creepy crawlies here. Like you, Mr. Batsu, I'm not happy to meet these guys. Am I even in the right spot here? Oh, this is the way, isn't it? This is where a surfboard come in handy. Like one of those mini scooters that we see everyone in the streets with these days. Let's run. Yes, I must play with these render passes in Blender a little bit more, especially now that the 2.8 is out. There's a lot to learn there. And just get reacquainted with Blender. Yeah, like this guy. We're just going to outrun him. And this guy. My god. They're all back. I thought I killed them all. Shame I can't run any faster than this. There's only walking and jumping, so I can do that, but I can't sprint as such in this game. Oops. Yeah, we need to clone ourselves. I think that would do the trick. And then the 6 of us can learn in parallel and transfer it to all the other brains. That's, at the end of the day, that's what cloud computing is all about, isn't it? Or machine learning, shall I say. And then these machines, they just chug along. So last time I died right here. Let's just see if there's anything exciting that I may have dropped here. Yes, let's see, there's some... are those broken health packs? Oh, they're not broken, they're just underneath there. And a couple of batteries here. Those things come in handy. Titanium, yeah, well, I think I'm going to leave that there. Do you think there's anything behind here? Or should we leave that maybe for another day? I mean, this is not something I've explored before. Let's tell you what I'll try. I'll try that propulsion cannon here. And see if I can... Oh, good, yeah, that's helpful, isn't it? I was thinking maybe grabbing hold of some of these things here. Oh, health pack. Oh, good, let's put that here. Man, where is it now? So it looks like it doesn't really... Oh, fire extinguisher. All right. It doesn't really attach to any of these things. So the propulsion cannon can grab something like here, this piece of titanium, and when you release it, then it kind of throws it across the room to the very end of the room here. And there's an upgrade to this propulsion cannon available, which is... the name escapes me now, but it is something that lets you put things down more reasonable rather than shooting them across the room. I was kind of thinking maybe there's another health pack here, because I just shot that across the room, but I guess, I don't know, maybe it just got disintegrated in the process. Let's forget it, and let's hope we're not going to need that extra health pack, and let's go downstairs here into the cargo hold and see what else we find here. More goodies, and this is the thing that's it's not that obvious that this is actually where we need to go through, and we can only remove these parts by using that propulsion cannon. So let's see if we can grab that desk here somehow. Oh, there we go. We can just go and grab that box. And this other cannon, we can just put it down, but in this case, we just have to go and almost shoot this. The desk be gone. That's probably enough. Let's move that out of the way as well. There, perfect. And we can still get through? Yes, we can. That's good. Hive mind powered by RTX cores. Now that would be exciting. You know, speaking of RTX cores, Rod, you've had experience with D-Force, right? To a certain extent. I've received a question earlier from Bradford Knight. That's one of my viewers. He was asking this on Facebook. He said he's got the 2070, RTX 2070 in his machine, and he's trying to get some D-Force renders going, but he was having issues getting them going. So I believe there was an error message that Daz put up there. I don't remember trying that yet with the new card. But I wondered if you had any issues with the RTX 2080 and D-Force. I'm going to try that out. I haven't played with D-Force since I've got that new card. It's only been installed 3 days ago, so it's all very fresh here yet. Now, this is something I hadn't quite anticipated. There's some kind of code that I guess we need for this door. So, oops. Can we just type that in? No, I don't think so. I think we have to just park our cursor over here. And then, yeah, that's of course, guessing a 4-digit number is going to take a little bit of time. So I bet there's some kind of thing that we were supposed to read. And that'll probably tell it to us. Well, let's do that now, shall we? Let's go and drink something with our final bottle of water and see if there's anything else in our data scans that we've found here. Codes and clues, there we go. Let's have a look at that. Notes to self. We crossed the galaxy to install a phase gate to send ships to mine resources, to build more inexpensive ships, to install fancier phase gates, and we're trying to exhaust the galaxy or just ourselves. Use birthday, weeks before we got home, 400 weeks it feels like before we get home. Not enough credits Altera's paying me. 1454 cargo bay code. Hey, I'm really glad we went into that other administration office first. So 1454. Let's see if that is in fact the code that gets us in here. 1454. Open sesame. Very good. Very good. I like it when it's like this, rather than us having to spend another 2 hours finding something that may resemble that code, or us not knowing where said code may be. Yes, let me know what you think, and let me know if you get any error messages. Because it may just be, and this is why I'm bringing this up, because Christina said the Blender isn't supporting RTX cores yet. I wonder, that's kind of what I told Bradford, that maybe the D-Force whatever engine that DAS have built don't quite support RTX cores yet either. I think that may well be the reason. I've not had issues on the GTX card, but maybe there will be some on the RTX card. Cyclops engine fragment. I say, old boy. Let's pop that scanner right into here. Put that propulsion cannon perhaps into here, because I don't think we need that habitat builder here. In fact, let's put that light here and the scanner there. Cyclops engine fragment. Cyclops blueprints. The Cyclops is a submarine, not like the Seamoth, but a much larger submarine. It's more like a mobile base. It's, you know, borderline annoying. Oh, water, thank God for that. We're going to drink that immediately. Perhaps also going to eat some, you know, tasty Gary fish here. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to play with the Cyclops as soon as we've taken all those other things with us. Look at that, nutrition block. That is good. We're going to go and take that with us. So that's some food for us there. I'd love to see some more water here, but hey, let's go around the other side and see if we find anything else. Water, woo! That's what we like. Jumping. If you're playing this game with the game controller like I am, I was a little bit confused as to what jumping actually is. It's the equivalent to the Y button on the Xbox 360 controller, so the top button, so like the north button as such. You can also on the PlayStation gamepad, it's the triangle button, and I believe on the PC keyboard, I believe it's space or C, one of them. Ah, abandoned PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
Transgov profile. I love it. Yes, let's find those infinity stones. I'm sure they are. I spotted one crate behind here. I wonder if I can squeeze past here without getting killed. Yes, there we go. Supply crate with a bottle of water. Oh, they're really looking after us. It's important that these little things happen along the way, that you get not only get little rewards for your journey, but that you also get to survive here. The new game there, Below Zero, that doesn't have any of these things yet. So you're just walking around the scenes they've built. So there's no story yet or anything. It's not a very playable game, Below Zero. But this one is. I believe we've exhausted everything in this cargo bay. Let's see what happens down here. Do you know what this reminds me of? When I played this the first time, and you look at all these little effects that are literally everywhere. Smoke on the ceiling and the fires burning. And this thing all being all wonky and not quite straight and everything's damaged. This reminds me of the 70s movie Poseidon Inferno. Do you remember that? Leslie Nielsen was the captain. Gene Hackman was a preacher, and the ship was kind of upside down, and Ernest Borgnine was in it, and several other people that I can't recall quite yet, and they were having to find a way out of this capsized ship in the middle of the ocean before it sank. That was a good movie. Doom, yeah. Well, drive room to the top, Seamoth Bay to the right. And there's swimming things in the water. That's right, and they made so many, like Towering Inferno, and there was a Dutch movie that was called The Lift, I believe. People got stuck in a lift, and I think there was some kind of, what was it again? Some kind of biological agent in the electronics mainframe that was kind of multiplying itself and turned into primordial slime and wasn't letting people out of that elevator. Ooh. Ow. Oh man, that's terrible. Oh my god, this guy, what's happening here? Who are you? This guy attached to my arm and then just go and try to nibble on me. That's not very nice, is it? Yeah, you. Talking about you. See if we can scan this guy. Ow. Well, we can't quite scan him and get rid of him at the same time. Should we even risk it? I mean, we know he's evil. Is there even a point scanning him? Got you trapped now, huh? Bleeder. That's terrible. Yeah, you stay there. I'm gonna go and loot this crate here. No, nutrition block. Slightly soggy, but hey. Let's not judge the book by its covers. Man, he's hunting me down. Ha! That'll teach him a lesson. Oh my god, he's sending friends now. That's terrible. Okay, let's stop playing with the local whatever they are. Forklift? I guess we can't scan that, can we? No. That'd be kind of cool driving around Subnautica with a forklift here. Do you know, I wonder if there would be a way to find out how many hours we've played video games collectively. I mean, now we've got things like this where we can keep track of how many hours we've played. It's kind of scary. I've played this game over 200 hours in total, says Steam. It is so crazy how much time we spent with our 3D hobbies.
Sustained internal damage during collision. Do not attempt repair without appropriate qualifications.
Qualifications? I've got my online degree, man. From DAS University. So let's have a look here. So drive room is this way. Seamoth Bay is that way. And there's also something that goes this way. What do you think? Shall we try and explore? Shall we go from right to left? Or should we try the Seamoth Bay first? And then we'll head over this anonymous corridor here. And then we'll go and see what the drive room has to offer. Shall we do that? Don't feed the bleeders. That's exactly right, yes. Let's see for that. I think we need the repair tool. Let's go and repair this and see if we can open that door. Oh wow, Mr. Batsu, you're going to end up like this guy that everyone's talking about who's playing this role-playing game for 48 hours straight without any food or water, and then he died. Well, luckily you're still with us, so you were a little bit less addicted to Doom 2 than he was, I guess. So funny enough, I've never played Doom, so maybe that is something I should do. Is the first experience of playing Doom. It's one of those things that may be quite nice.
Integrating new PDA data.
I'm missing out. Man, me too. That would be so cool. Have a repair tool just pointed at something. Can you imagine? Computer's broken. You just go bzzz. There we go. It's fixed again. What did this thing do? Don't know. Look at the log file if you're interested, but really who is? Let's just go and celebrate the fact that it just, at the touch of a button, repaired this thing. That is very clever. I would like that in real life as well. Seamoth fragment. I mean, I can scan it, but we do have the Seamoth, so I don't think that's going to be... That's that. It's just 2 blobs of titanium. That's kind of a recycling tool I'd like as well in real life, that you just point it at something and then you just go and get the raw materials from it. Rather than putting it in a yellow bin or something that'll be collected once a week, you just go, hey, let's disintegrate this into molecules right now. Ooh, Seamoth Depth Module Mark II. I say, oh boy. That is very cool. So this thing, this depth module here, that'll upgrade our Seamoth, and then we'll be able to go deeper than we can at the moment. That's going to be very exciting. I think I'm going to go and grab that first aid kit here. Perhaps a snack of some kind. Perhaps, a cured boomerang. Have a drink. Have another drink. There. Nice. I don't think I want to carry around all that titanium with me, so I'm going to leave that here in the bay, in the Seamoth Bay. Don't feed the bleeders. You've heard Rod. And also don't feed yourself on me, bleeder. don't think there's anything else in here that we can make use of. Hey Rod, don't joke, this is going to happen at one point. You're just going to upload your brain and then put it into some what shall we call it, some kind of avatar, and then our thoughts live on. I mean, really, they're working on that. As soon as they find out how to map the brain, we're just all going to live in the cloud, aren't we? No bodies required, because biology, come on, this is just going to just constantly breaks, and then you've got things like, you know, cancer and aging bones to deal with, and no, menopause and all those exciting things that you could just live without. Seamoth Bay, I think we're going to make a big tick behind that and have a look what this corridor has to offer. And then we're going to make our way to the drive room. I think this is where we can repair that radiation leakage and all that. That looks like something we need to cut open with the laser tool. All right, let's do this thing. Laser tool, there we go. Laser cutter. Yeah, precisely. All those things like, you know, achy breaky legs, they're just gonna go, why move around? We're just thoughts in the cloud. We're gonna be live forever, all the time. That's kind of a cool thought, isn't it? I'm not actually sure what this room is. All I can tell is that it's more or less underwater. So I'm glad we have that second oxygen tank. Oh, abandoned PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
Aurora auxiliary mission orders. So that's interesting story-wise. So our main directive here, why we actually went into this neck of the neighborhood, was that... Is this creepy? No, it's just paper, isn't it? Ugh, that's creepy. The reason why we're even in this neck of the neighborhood of this galaxy is that we wanted to install this thing called a phase gate. And a phase gate is this thing that makes faster light travel possible. So a bit like in Mass Effect, the story goes that you have a health kit, very good. You have a phase gate network. And you can jump from one phase gate to the next. And the phase gates are like millions of kilometers apart from one another, but you arrive instantly through some, you know, magic trickery. I don't really know how it works, but the more phase gates you install, the better it is for this whoever who owns the network, who I suppose would charge a usage fee for the customers. And that was what we were supposed to do. Altera, the company that we kind of worked for, I guess, were sending us on this mission that would take forever to get to some distant point in the galaxy, install a phase gate, and then we could just go back in an instant. That was the plan. And now we're here. So that was the primary mission. It'd be interesting to see that that was not the only mission, that we had like a secondary protocol. And that's probably what that PDA entry was all about. Perhaps we're going to have a listen or look at it at least, just to see what that was. Codes and clues, was that in here perhaps? Notes to self. Operations log perhaps. Public documents. No, where was it now? Not indigenous life forms or geological data. Yeah, it was something like Aurora secondary advanced theories, the blueprints? No, I have no idea where it was, but that was one of those things I would have wanted to have a look at right now. Is it right in front of me and I just can't see it? That's also very possible. I'm looking for this thing called the Altera or Aurora secondary protocol. No, it's gone. Don't know. Additional technical, perhaps? No. Well, I'll research that. It's kind of nice to see what that secondary protocol was all about. Oh, there we go. Auxiliary mission orders. Mission search and rescue. Target crew of the Mongolian vessel Degazi. Last known position vicinity of planet 4546b, Ariadne Arm. Contact Mongolian emissary Johi Kasar, Aurora passenger quarters. So there we go. This is the thing. We were not just on our way to install a phase gate. We were more or less deliberately swinging by this planet, and now we're wondering why we're shot. And this brief tells us about the fact that there is this other ship called the Degazi that disappeared almost a decade ago, carrying a high-ranking Mongolian chief, and so forth and so forth, and they've been missing. And so I guess that's where this thing comes from. When every so often when we find new things in the story, we see this Degazi habitat and all that. So I suppose those are people who have crashed here before us almost a decade ago, and they would have been on a mission very similar to us, like, try and survive and build your own habitats and see if you can make it against these creatures that live here, and hopefully wait for rescue. So perhaps there's a chance that we can either meet these people, although judging by that Degazi habitat that we had a look at recently, none of them are still alive. So we'll see what happens. I guess it's time to get that fire extinguisher out again so that we can repair this thing and go into the prawn bay. Yes. Fire extinguisher. This one's nearly empty, so something else we can leave behind. I'm so glad we bought that other one. Thank you so much for the tip, by the way. It's very good. Let's go put that one in. And this one, can we just go and drop it? How do we drop that thing? There. Boom. Gonski. Budget cuts. Damaged wiring. Use repair tool. Here's that repair tool in action again. Look at it go. Aha. Prawn Bay, here we come. Man, I can hear Roy Scheider saying, we need a bigger fire extinguisher. Hull breach in this room. Okay. So this is interesting because aside from this huge fire here, we can see these things hanging here, or the fragments of these things, and those are called the prawn suits. There's another one here. There's another one here. And those are, we've seen that in this poster as well that we have in our base now. So we could, if we were to build one, we could go in it, and this is kind of a monster suit that gives you almost superpowers. So let's go and scan this so that we can, at one point, build that thing. It's going to be very exciting. I think the other thing we need repair tool is, of course, the light. So put that knife perhaps here, and then put the light here. There. Prawn suit fragment. Prawn suit Mark III. I'm so glad it's not the rubbish Mark I or Mark II. We're getting the Mark III model. Much better. So there's another one here. And I'm not entirely sure if we can scan it through the fire or if we need to extinguish that fire first. Yeah, I think I need to go too close. I think I'm going to go and not take a chance here. And I guess in order to scan this guy, can we walk on this beam here maybe? Yes, very nice. Good stuff. All right. Whoops. While we're here, oh, look at that. Fire extinguisher, would have thought. Very good. There's me mentioning the fire extinguisher and then I find one. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what a broken spaceship looks like from the inside, in case you ever wondered. That is one thing I do like about science fiction, that they say, well, there's usually a lot of room in these things. And I don't know what the justification for that is. It's nice to have a lot of room in spaceships, like high ceilings. If you remember the movie Red October, they had like, 20-foot ceilings in a submarine. You go, I'm not entirely sure if that's realistic or not. But, it is fiction after all, so... I suppose if you build these things in space rather than on Earth, and you have unlimited amounts of resources, you might as well go on 50-foot ceilings here. That's not a problem. Yeah. Do you know, I used to be... Ooh. New blueprint synthesized. That's very nice. So now it looks like we can build that prawn suit. I believe. Let's just check. Stasis rifle. Look, we need one more part for that stasis rifle. Another part for that light stick. Thermal blade. That sounds interesting. Look at that, we've got all these vehicle upgrades already. Vortex torpedo, look at that, where did all this come from? Very exciting. Gas torpedo, not sure how we could build any of these things, but... Where's that prawn suit hiding? Picture frame, we're going to have a lot of fun with that later when we get back to the base. Prawn suit, eh? Prawn suit, there we go. Oh no, that's the jump suit. Prawn suit jump jet upgrade. My god. Repulsion cannon. Seamoth depth module Mark II. Ultra high capacity tank. Prawn suit, look at that. It's another vehicle we can create at our swimming vehicle bay. So that alone was worth the journey to the Aurora today. Do you know, absolutely, Christina, he would like to have that space. We went in the late 80s, early 90s, I believe my family and we went to visit my aunt, and she was living in Munich at the time. And there is, I don't know if you know this, but there is a kind of medium-sized film and TV studio in Munich, in Geiselgasteig, I believe it's called. And that was where they made the German movie Das Boot, and that was a bit of a success in the 80s. It was a World War II movie, obviously, because that's the only movie Germans can make really well. World War II movies. I don't really know why that is, but it's that or Eastern German Stasi movies. Those are very, very popular on the agenda. Just put that fire out while we're here. Let's make it nice and neat. And so that movie was partly shot with a set of a submarine. I believe that it was a part of a real submarine, and we had the opportunity to go on it. And my God, that was so tiny. Absolutely tiny, and very exciting to see that. But thinking about people living in those conditions for long periods of time, like months and even years perhaps, underwater, that is just, oh my God. It gets claustrophobic even thinking about that. I can see that there's a bottle of water here. I'm not giving up until I got it. Ha! There we go, got it. I do need to drink something anyway, so there we go. Filtered water, 20 ounces. Woo! Oh no, it's actually only 6 ounces. There. Nutrition block? Anybody? Nutrition block? Which one's the soggy one that we found underwater there? Guess it doesn't matter. Now that filled me up. Very cool. Have you seen that, Christina, in Munich? It's really cool. They also had the Never-Ending Story, the set of Never-Ending Story. I remember when there was an opportunity for us to sit on that fluffy dragon and fly through that that very bad chroma key that they had set up there. It's like in the 90s. I mean, you know, we were talking VHS camera, and it's very good. That's where they made Derek and the Old Fox, two very popular TV shows from the 80s and 90s. I believe Derek was on for over 20 years. It's the most popular German TV export, by the way. I remember when I was on chemotherapy and I had this terrible time that I couldn't sleep for months and months on end. I would sit in the living room while Julia was sleeping in the bed. I couldn't lie down back then, so I was just sitting in the living room chair. I had to get up to go for a pee every 10, 20 minutes or so. And I was watching Derek on YouTube because that was just, I don't know, there was something comforting about that. Derek just gets the guy, you know. It's very good. It's funny at what we think of in those moments. So I'm going to dispose of that empty fire extinguisher here because I've got a full one right here. And let's have a look at that canteen here. It is fantastic, isn't it, to see these things live. Crisp machine or potato chip machine. That is something that's so going on our base, definitely. Vending machine. Oh, very exciting. What else we got here? Counter, single wall shelf. Very nice. Always good to have that. Counter. Maybe we're going to install a canteen of this caliber in our base. What do you think? Counter, a shelf. There's that trash can, sadly not usable. The menu. Look at that, biscuits on the menu. Biscuit. How exciting. That is very cool. Oh man, hours 4 to 9, open all week. Frontiersman discount available. Chicken and pork, barbecue sliced beef, baked beans, ham and cheese. I love it. And biscuits. Woo! Oh man. Keep calm and carry on. I think this is the poster that we're definitely going to take with us. Fire extinguisher, always good to have. Another PDA for today's menu. Today's menu, starter, space bear velouté, main cottage pie or nutrient block, very nice. And for dessert we have dried fruit and nuts. Unfortunately, a recent accident in Cargo Bay 3 involving the incorrect application of a repulsion cannon in combination with a modified battery charger resulted in the venting into space of all dehydrated desserts. Fruit and nuts will be the only available dessert for the next 39 weeks. That's nearly a year. Nothing wrong with dried fruit and nuts, but you know, for 39 weeks? Ay caramba. Well, Rod, I hear you, man, absolutely. So, canteen, supply cupboard. This is just like coming home, isn't it? Let's see what else is here. Couple of doors closed. Oh, supply crate on fire, always good. What will we find here? Toasted nutrient block? Toasted medkit more, like it. There. Portable black hole, it looks like. More trash cans. Well, okay, cool. So this is another T section here. Where shall we go first? To the right or to the left? What do you think? This one says cabin 1 and cabin 3. And this says cabin 7 and cabin 4. Where do you want to go? Left or right first? That's a good idea, actually, yes. The aircon room, or the HVAC room, as they say. Okay, Rod, we're going to go left. Let's do that. Cabin 1. Another soggy nutrient block. Great, 2 votes for left. That's exactly what we're going to do. Excellent. Thank you, Brian. Hey, I'm halfway through Flickr World, by the way. No, not halfway through. I think about a third through. Very cool story. I can't wait to read the rest. Have you thought about narrating that? Because I've narrated my book, Broken Bowels, and it's a very cool experience for people who don't have the time to read stuff. They can just listen to that on the go or in the car. It's very popular. And you can do that via ACX. ACX is another Amazon company, and you can either do it yourself or you can hire a narrator to do that. And then you can do either pay somebody or you can do profit share. So you don't pay somebody, you just, whenever the books are being sold, you share the profit with them. So the carry-all here, that's an interesting thing. This is kind of something we can pick up. It's like a portable storage container, but you can only pick it up when it's empty. So as soon as I put something in, I drop it now. I can put something in. Whoops, I'm so sorry. I meant to drop that and then just open that. There we go. Where's that now? Oh, here. Interesting. Pick up. Okay, let's put that somewhere else, like here. Let's put that here. Drop there. Aha. Just hovering over the right spot there. If we just put like maybe all our batteries in here, that's a good idea. Let's put batteries in here and, you know, yeah, that's good. Disinfected water, let's drink something. So as soon as I drop that down here, I can't pick it up anymore. But, you know, I think I'm going to do that so that all my batteries are in here. That leaves me some storage here. And then on our way back, we can come back and, you know, raid this for batteries if we wanted to. There's the only girlfriend in space again on the inside of the locker. Oh, fantastic. That's really good news. That is really good news. Look at that, more carry-all. That's exciting. Let's put some more stuff away. That's good. Like, you know, nutrient blocks here. Thousands of them. Perhaps also a couple of med kits. Yeah, let's do that. That's cool. Oh, fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Let me know how it's going. That would be something I'd be very interested in listening to. Or narrating, for that matter, if you're looking for narrators. More water, very exciting. Keypad. Captain's quarters. Oh, we're going to have to get in here, don't we? That would be very important for us to see what's in the captain's quarter. Cabin 2 looks like we don't exactly have access to that, but captain's quarters. Yes, you're right. Oh my God. Julia just said radio message to me, and that may well be that there is something. Oh man, cabin 1 also has a key lock combination here. Let me go and take that. No, actually, I'm going to leave that as. Do you know, that's a good idea. Maybe I'm on ACX as well. I can go and submit a test read there for you and see what happens. Yeah, exactly. Let me finish reading it, and then that'd be something that would just be cool to do. Is there something in any of our little notes and clues section here. Codes and clues there. Sweet offer. Is that anything? Giant freaking robot suit. Come by cabin number 1. Code is 1869. Oh, okay. 1869. That's for cabin 1. Oh my god, that's perfect. Let's do that immediately. What was it again? 1869? My god, short-term memory on a completely new level here. Aha! I love it. It looks like this is some note paper that somebody wasn't quite happy with the arcade gorge toy. We can pick that up. Look at that. Blue cap, we can pick that up as well. What are we going to do with all that schnick-schnack? That's good news here, that's good stuff. This is a wall shelf. Perhaps when we get back to our base, we can build that and put that blue cap in there, and maybe that arcade toy. Oh, maybe this is the code to the captain's thing. What do you think?
Integrating new EDA data.
Christina, yes, it's I believe if I remember correctly, it was zerocalvin.com. Or maybe I'll just put it in. Oh, you can do it, yeah. It's literally spelled out, zerocalvin.com, and that has links to all Brian's books in there. Thank you, that's very kind. Woo-hoo. Yeah, maybe put that other link as well, zerocalvin.com, because that links to all Brian's books and the blog and so forth. And so always nice to get to know one another that way. So not much luck getting into the captain's cabin here so far. Do we have any other clues here? I believe sometimes it's just those easy things we stop thinking about, isn't it? I believe to get this code, I don't know if it varies by game. There's many randomized elements in this game. I think we need to receive a radio message to get in here. I forgot what is in here, but perhaps we can keep that in mind to go and pick up more stuff when we get back the next time to the Aurora. I think we need to just do another trip. Once we get this code, we're going to come back for this, the captain's quarters. And then, of course, we can also grab some more stuff that we've got in any of these little portable storage things here. Yeah, batteries, always good, always good. I don't know what else is to come. Let's leave these things here and let's have a look at this other section, namely this one here. So we went left, so we were here, then we went left because Rod and Brian thought left is a good idea. Let's do that. Now we need to go right and see what happens in here. Cabin 7. Oh, another carry-all. Ow. Oh man, that's not even a fire. Come on. Don't be such a baby. There. That is also empty, I guess. Yeah, empty. Okay, cool. Anything exciting in here? Another one. Oh, more batteries. Look at that. Bed. Battery. Man, we can open a battery factory.
Integrating new EDA data.
Altera Arms pamphlet. Or Elms pamphlet? Is that what it says? See, I'd love to find where that's gone now. The Ghazi survivors. Public documents. Oh, there we go. AA operates on a lottery system. Ah, interesting. Something else to read maybe for later. But it's good to know that there's so many little bits of background information in here. So to learn more about the story as to why we're here, what we're doing here, what's our purpose. I wish we had that in life, you know. We have to figure it out all by ourselves. Oh great, more nutrient blocks. Relationship contract.
Integrating new PDA data.
Let's listen to that.
Listen, I know I don't have the right to make demands of you, but I need you to understand that I want to change our arrangement.
I hear what you're saying, and I will try to respect it. How would you like to change it?
I would like to reduce our contact hours
How much further can we do that?
to 0.
You're dumping me.
I'm changing the terms of our relationship.
How is it still a relationship if we don't see each other?
It's a relationship of a kind. You have so many expectations.
I feel you just want to spend more time with that dumb guy in his dumb robot suit.
That's not a feeling. It's a judgment. And I feel hostility in what you're saying. Perhaps your jealousy is a sign that you need to take another look at your business model. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I am happy for you, and I'm happy for all the guys in the prawn bay. I'm just not happy for me.
This is why I want to change our arrangement.
Okay, interesting. Relationship contracts. Is that what the future is going to look like? Altera launches the Aurora. Altera currently operates 9% of all phase gates in the galaxy. If the Aurora's mission is successful, Altera will have outmaneuvered a cabal of Mongolian corporations operating a range of outposts and mines in the region. Look at that. Lots to read here, lots to read here. I'm really glad they're giving us so much water here. I really like that. And food, which I don't need anymore at the moment, but you know, it's good to have it. And a little cuddly arcade gorge toy. Comforting. Good to know. Oh, this is empty, isn't it? So I'm going to drop that here because I don't think I need that. Let's just drop that here. And see what else we find. There's another crate on fire. Ow. Oh, come on. More water, all right. Health pack. Battery. And a poster, Natural Selection 2 poster. This is Natural Selection, it's kind of an in-joke. Natural Selection was the game this company, Unknown Worlds, made previously to Subnautica. I've never played it. It's kind of a shooter game. It started out as a mod, I believe, for Half-Life. I think, was it Half-Life? I think it was. That was the original Natural Selection, and then came Natural Selection 2, which was a standalone game. And that was very successful, and that's kind of formed them as a game company, I guess. I guess we can't go into cabin number 5, even if we remove all this debris here, which I can't latch onto with this propulsion cannon. I guess there's no way to get into it, so... Okay. Okay, fine. This wasn't that exciting, but, you know, there's a lot of batteries here. Oh, and there's another poster here, isn't there? Another prawn suit poster. Ah, we're going to have the most beautiful base when we get back. So aside from the captain's cabin, then, I think that's the Aurora kind of explored. What do you think? Hey, Laura, how you doing? Good to see you. we're just on the Aurora here in Subnautica, and we've just explored pretty much everything there is to explore. I'm hatching plans to go back and drop some of that stuff off when I get home and back to the base. We have some storage slots free here. I believe there's another section that we can explore. Maybe we'll see if we can make it there. So we'll leave all these batteries here, and it is fairly close to here. There is a way to get through this wall at the bottom here. Diving and then going through that bottom there. Do you know what? I've just had a little flash here. I'll go a little bit closer because Julia and I were playing Subnautica Below Zero this morning to check into that new upgrade. And do you remember we found this door number 4? That is exactly what it looked like in Below Zero. It was kind of half open, implemented into some kind of mountain there. That's exactly what that looked like, wasn't it? How exciting. Do you know, speaking of writing, Christina, you said in passing, I think on our last stream, that you're a writer. I didn't actually know this. You said you made a mention in passing that you said, "Hey, I can only afford a better graphics card." I think we were talking about graphics cards, and you were saying that you can only afford one if one of your books becomes a bestseller. If you do have a link to any of your books, please feel free to post them. That'd be really interesting. I didn't know you were a writer. I know we have spoken about writing in regards to your accident. And in that is kind of a good way to mentally sort out the trauma. I mean, it did help me. And that's when we spoke about writing, but I didn't know you were a writer of other works. So this is an interesting room that we just went into. I think I discovered this by accident once, and it looks almost like there's nothing behind here, but yeah, this is how you get in. I believe there's a second way in. I'm not entirely sure where this all goes. So we have got 2 doors here. Once again, one to the left and one to the right. Shall we stick with the... Forget that, we don't have the one to the right. We only have one to the left. Let's have a look at this and see what's in here. Except for scary burning ceilings, of course. This looks almost like the front portion of a boat now, doesn't it? Ah, data terminal.
Integrating new EDA data.
That's the black box the computer was talking about earlier. Let's have a listen to that. Perhaps that gives us an indication of how to reach that captain's quarter. Altera Black. Well, see, why isn't this opening up now automatically? That's kind of what I had expected. Black box data. Aha. Okay, so this is how it all went down. Initiated slingshot maneuver around planet 4546b. High velocity energy pulse detected on planet surface. Emergency distress signal sent to Altera listening buoy via long-range comm relay. Impact detected. Life pod base on starboard side compromised. Outgoing communications compromised. Emergency evacuation initiated. Manual piloting transferred to Captain Hollister. Captain. Life pods 01 to 25 launched successfully. Entering planetary atmosphere. Massive impact registered. Drive core shield compromised. Emergency bounce backs received from 8 life pods on planet surface. Very good to know. 8 life pods. I think we've only discovered 2 or 3 so far, so it looks like there's more than that. Human life signs detected over long range at T plus 8 hours 1. That's crazy because we had kind of hoped that there would be more survivors, and I guess that one human life sign, I guess that's us. So I guess that that tells us I don't think there are any more survivors here on this planet. Personnel unaccounted for, non-essential systems maintenance chief Riley Robinson. That may potentially be our name, which I'm not entirely sure if it is, but that would make sense. Altera HQ rescue solution received at T+8 hours to high priority terminal in captain's quarters. Aha, that's why we need to go into the captain's quarters. Some high priority rescue plan thing. So that's good to know. So we're definitely going to come back to the Aurora and go and break into that cabin. Monitoring equipment failed at T+13 hours. Okay, cool. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So that's good to know. So, in summary, we're the only person alive, human being alive on this planet. Some kind of secret rescue operation plans in Captain Hollister's cabin, to which sadly we currently do not know the access code. Underwater door cutting operation required. Let's make it happen. Oh, thank you for the link. I'll have a look at that. Gay stories? Well, I don't know. It's my uncle is gay, so he's always been gay. So I've only known him as a gay man. So gayness is in our family. I've never read a gay story as such, but hey, you never know. It would always be nice to discover new things that the people that I know have written. So thank you so much for the link, and thank you for sharing that with us. If you need to tweak your equipment, please use the mod station in the forward section or retrieve pre-configured equipment from the lab next door to the data coil. The door code is 6483. Oh, now we only need to find a door that goes with that access code. Look at that, so much to explore. This is a long episode here. We're nearly 2 hours in and we're not even done exploring the Aurora. I think this must have been like a 25th battery. So we can, oh good, we can put it to good use. My battery in the lights just failed, so let's put that to good use there. Very cool. Our 26th battery anniversary. Excellent. Ah, door with access code. What's that code again? Do you remember? My God, our memories are just terrible, aren't they? 4683. Oh, 6483. And I need some oxygen. Oh boy. Let's just go and take this thing with us. I forgot that we're underwater here. My goodness. We're not going to die. I'm determined not to die. Come on, this is... There. While we're here, let's go and eat some more of that. Drink some more of that delicious water. Nutrient block. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Like the 143. You can never get that much health if you just eat fish that you've grilled at the fabricator. Grilled peeper. Was that correct here? No. Ow. Oh my God. This is the door. Perfect. What was that code again? Thank you. Julia says it's 6-4. That's really difficult to punch these buttons when you've got a shaking ship and you're bobbing up and down in the water. Man. Aha. Open sesame. Oh, thank you. I'll check that link out as well, Christina. Thanks. That's very good. Data terminal. Repulsion cannon. Ah, look at that. More goodies.
Bad corruption was detected on your PDA.
Ah.
Your technology blueprints have been updated.
Updated. That's good.
Integrating new PDA data.
Wow. It's almost like we need to build ourselves a little reading nook when we get back. Can this be opened? Yes, it can. Oh, good. Okay, so now we can go through here as well. That's nice. So there's some more other goodies in here. So this is a large sample flask. It doesn't do anything except for take up a lot of room in our inventory. I'm inclined to leave it here because it really serves no purpose that I've discovered, much like these two things here. This is a sample analyzer, non-functional, and a microscope, non-functional. There's also another flask, sample flask here that is also kind of doesn't really serve a purpose other than decorative, I guess. So I think in the interest of time as well as equipment storage, we're just going to leave those things here. I'm going to go and quickly change my oxygen tank, and then I'll see if I can go back to the top somehow, because I think that was all that was here. There we go. Always important, change that second oxygen tank and fill it up again, because otherwise that won't be good. Okay, let's go back down here in the secret, super secret corridor with pipes and all that. All this stuff here, I think they would have made this, or this is probably how I would build this in Blender. I'll probably start with a path here. I don't think I'd extrude cylinders. I just draw a path from here to here and just bend the path, and then just use that tool that turns the path into a hollow shape. Maybe that's a good exercise to use that in Blender 2.8 and see if it's as easy as I imagine it to be. I don't imagine that to be easy at all. And then of course the next problem is, how do we get out of here? Big labyrinth down here. Ooh, okay. Mehanoid, how you doing? Good to meet you. Are you from Russia by any chance? Right, a curve. That's right, cool. It's all those little tips and tricks, you got to do these things time and time again. And eventually they'll grow on you. It's one of those things, I like watching people do modeling. I just can't do it myself. I don't think I have the right vision for these things. Now, while we're here, shall we just make a move to a base, or shall we pick up some more stuff, like some of the batteries that we found here the last time? We have room. What do you think? Pick up some more batteries? Pick up some more batteries. It's always good to have batteries. Okay, I'm going to go back to batteries. And then we're going to make a move back. Oh, I think I'm going to have to go up that other ramp here. Fill up my inventory with batteries. I think I'm going to leave the nutrition blocks here. What do you think, everyone? Nutrition blocks. I mean, it's good to know that they're here, man. Aha. This is where that repulsion cannon would help as well. I think once we're back at the base, I think the only other thing I'd like to do today is just have a quick listen to a radio message and just see if that's one that will in fact give us the code to the captain's quarters. Okay, this is not where we left the batteries. This could potentially be where we left the batteries. Aha, there. The battery menu. We also need to bring our Sea Glide with us. And the Sea Glide, I believe, has needs a storage capacity of 6. Okay, let's do that. Let's leave 6 open, and then that means we can grab that Sea Glide on our way out, maximizing our storage capacity. Actually, I think we can leave. We can take another battery. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. Me too, Mr. Batsu. I would love to keep everything. It's just sometimes storage capacity, limiting storage capacity is such a nightmare, isn't it? I know that there are storage modules for the Seamoth, and I seem to remember, I don't exactly remember, but I think the way to build one is to create that modification station. We can build that. Yeah, I know. I'm a hoarder, and I'd like to keep everything in its place. You know, a place for everything and everything in its place. I wish my real life would be like that. But hey, at least in the video game, I can pretend I'm a neat and orderly person. So the reason why I've only left 5 storage spaces here is because we have this one upgrade module for the Seamoth, which lets us go deeper. So I'm looking forward to actually using that. And that will free up 1 storage space. We can slot that right into the Seamoth, and then we have 6 storage slots left. Wait a minute, we can't go home yet. I forgot something. I totally forgot something. First of all, I'm going to save this game here, just in case, just because, you know, I'm such a neat freak. There is this thing, I wanted to fix the drive core, didn't I? Oh man, the drive core. So we can't go home yet, guys. It's going to be a long session today. We've been on the air for over 2 hours already. We're going to fix that drive core as well. Might as well do that while we're here. Drive room, thank you so much for those things, for those little signs here. Yeah, look, we haven't actually been here. That is very cool. Let's go and extinguish that fire with the last 4% here. Ah, man. Okay, you, my friend, the fire extinguisher, are going to get dropped from the lineup. Perfect. Woo! Who wouldn't want 2,800 cabbages? I've heard so many good things about Skyrim. I haven't played it, but there's been... I remember it was a PlayStation 3 game, wasn't it? And then they made a remaster for the PlayStation 4. And I don't know about you, but I like my PlayStation 3 still. I do have a PlayStation 4, but I keep coming back to my PlayStation 3, and I wonder if I should get it. Skyrim. There's a PC version as well. What's it about, Mr. Batsu? Oh yes, and Paradise Bay, Christina, you were saying. That is something I also want to check out. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drive room. So first of all, we find the Cyclops engine efficiency module. Let's grab that. That's probably good. And now we find these things. I didn't get that when I first went into this room. There are all these leaks here, and I think when we scan them, it'll tell us drive core shielding breach. The Aurora's drive core is shielded by a thick metal shell which breached in multiple locations shortly after the crash. Once breached, it will continue to leak radiation into the surrounding environment until the breaches are sealed. After that point, the radiation in the environment will dissipate over time. This procedure should only be attempted with appropriate radiation protection and a fully charged repair tool. Well, we don't have the qualifications, but I believe we have a repair tool. Might not be as fully charged as it's recommended, but the thing is we have a ton of batteries, so should something go wrong, we can always go and, swap out that battery. Let's go and repair all these breaches.
Breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
10. Oh man. Okay. So let's count.
Breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
9. Okay. 9 more breaches. Probably underwater. Look, that's getting sparks out there already. So let's go underwater and see what happens there. I believe there was a bit of a time limit on this, so we have to be a little bit hopla hop about this, otherwise we're gonna die. And of course, death by radiation leak is less fun than it sounds.
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
All right. Is it, Mr. Batsu, is it an online role-playing game as such? Oh man, and now we need a knife, don't we? Dude, the knife! Oh my god. Oh. Terrible creatures. This is where things get complicated. So, knife, repair tool, knife. There we go. Repair tool, perfect. Whew. So, do you recommend I'd get the PC version? I've seen side-by-side comparisons between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 version. It's one of those things, maybe I'll put it on the wish list at Steam. Is it on Steam? Skyrim?
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
3 more to go.
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
Aha, thank you. I'll totally put that on my wish list. Sometimes when these things are 50% off, you think, I've recently invested into some of those old school Tomb Raider games. Not like the really old school ones, but the like Tomb Raider Underworld and stuff like that. They had a sale on there. Oh, good point. And it's phenomenal. Sometimes they're on 75, 80% off, and you think, whoa, that is quite a bargain. So pick up 5 good games for under $20. That is really, really cool. Especially when they're like, 5 years old or 10 years old. They're still good games, just because they're not leveraging whatever super duper graphics cards. Still makes them very good games. Yes, Christina, make a Steam account. Woo! Drive core breach sealed.
Drive core breach sealed.
That's what I said.
Radiation levels decreasing.
Hey, very good, very good. Ah, and successful happy music to play at the same time. That is nice. So we've done something really good for the environment here, because now the radiation levels will gradually just fade away. Obviously saving the local wildlife there, that's good. But also, more importantly, we can then dive deep without that radiation helmet, which means we can use the rebreather instead. So I think that was a very good idea that we did that here. Yes. Juma, how you doing? Thank you for dropping by. Where are you joining us from today? Where are you joining us from today? That was that's what I was going to say before my mouth malfunctioned. We're just leaving the Aurora. We've repaired the drive core. We've picked up some of the goodies. Oh, that's that door number 4 again that we found in Subnautica below zero. That's a good way of... I don't think it said cargo bay. We're going to have to learn to look at that. I think it just said number 4. And now we're going to bring some of our goodies back to the base. And of course, we will return to the Aurora at a later date to get whatever is happening in the captain's quarters. It is a creepy place. I'm kind of glad we're getting out of here now. This is interesting. So the smoke here, this is happening all in various layers here, but just from here you can just about see that the smoke is literally just a transparent plane with a video file mapped to it. So that's I assume that is how the fog is made here. It could be calculated, but I think it'd be much easier on resources if it's just something pre-rendered that's on a loop. I believe that's how Carrara does it. You just add this plane, and when you jump into it, you can see it doesn't actually have any depth to it, unlike the smoke that we see here. So that's actually volumetric smoke. But if you look at this from here, you can't actually tell that this is not volumetric, and it's just a nice effect with very low overhead and resources. I don't know if the fire is done the same way. It's difficult to see that here. That could be volumetric. There's this fire up here, that's certainly volumetric, and that's also volumetric fire. But these things, they are probably pre-rendered and just a mapped video file. That's something cool that we could explore in DAZ Studio one day. And just map a looping, create that sort of video file, and then map it onto a plane, and then have something like a poster, what do they call it in DAZ Studio? The billboards, like a billboard that's moving. Maybe a good idea. Let's shine a light on it. Oh wow, Jomar, 23 times. You're a definite addict then. It is so easy to get addicted to this game, isn't it? Wow. I saw a video of a speed run where somebody completed this game in about 12 minutes. But he did cheat, I must say. He didn't really complete the game in 30 minutes. In 12 minutes, he completed it in. He jumped outside the game world and took shortcuts and all that. It's more like a proof of concept. It was very, very funny to see that. And like 6 minutes in, it came up with messages that say, "Hey, if you find any bugs, press F8," and you go, "Yes, I'll get right on that." Okay, let's get out of here. I think, speaking of shortcuts, I think I'm going to take a shortcut. I'm not going to go past these critters here. I'm just going to jump ship, literally. Whoa! My goodness. That was not premeditated, as they say. Right, yeah, it's interesting to do that when it works, when this concept works. It's well worth doing. Saves on render time as well. I'm gonna go access these upgrades in the CMOS, and the little thing that I've got here. That's not it. Where is it? This here, CMOS depth module. I'm gonna put that in here. Crush depth is now 300 meters. That's good. It was 200 before, now it's 300. And that, of course, saves up one storage slot, which means I can pick up the Sea Glide that I'm kind of hoping is still available here, that I put in a secure-ish position. He says, I don't remember it looking like this before. Oh, no, it did actually. There we go. This is where we go on board. Wow, what made you play this for such a number of so many times? Is it you really like this game? How many hours have you got on Steam, on your accumulated Steam account? Ouch, yeah, that is not what I wanted to do. And he jumps out. So my Sea Glide was around here somewhere. I put that in this position so that I made sure it doesn't roll away. But of course I don't actually remember where that was now. It was here somewhere, wasn't it? It was fairly close to the entrance. Was it not? Hey man, we've got it on tape. Where's my Sea Glide? We may have to face the fact that my Sea Glide is lost, and I may have to build myself another one. Disposable technology, eh? Is this it? No, isn't it either. It was here somewhere, wasn't it? Or was it further up? I don't think it was further up. Maybe it was further up. Let's have a look further up. 901 hours. My goodness. That is phenomenal. But at the current rate, I can see my profile showing that at one point. Oh yeah, Rod's story, The Ghost from TNA, that's been going on for quite a while. It's coming up to 10 years now, isn't it, Rod? 10 years? Wow. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense why chapter 6 is a few years old. And where was that, Mr. Batsu? Where do you think that was? I thought that was right here when I came up. Steel structure. Can you guide me? If you remember where that was, please guide me. Oh, it was in the water. Oh, was it in the water? I thought it was on land. Okay, I'm going to try and go back down here then. Sea glide! Oh, fantastic! Thank you so much for guiding me, Mr. Batsu. I appreciate that. Very cool. All right, let's get out of here. Speaking of the sea glide, let's use it. Let's use it to get 20 meters to our sea moth. There we go. Saved ourselves 0.1 second here. Thank you, computer. It's good to be back. Oh, I should drink something. Let's drink something. Drink more. Drink more, my goodness. Eat something. Eat, drink, consume, die. There. Our society in a nutshell. Okay, this is the way home. Woo-hoo! Wow, what an exciting day we've had on board the Aurora. I'm pretty sure, Jomar, maybe you can help me here. I seem to remember, we're still looking for the code to the captain's quarters. I seem to remember this was something that is sent to us by radio message. I don't know when that's happening. I would imagine the game would trigger it so that one of my next radio messages I receive is the one that would contain this. So I think once we get back home from our home, we're gonna go and check that radio and see if perhaps it's that radio message. Hello, Reefback, how you doing? He's a very gentle, large creature. Sometimes they hover close to the surface and you just see this top bit of the reefback popping out of the water and you think, ooh, that's an island. But you can't stand on him, he just kind of moves away underneath your feet. There's some barnacles on here we can break. Sometimes there's resources on here. He's very harmless. I love the sound engineering here, the audio engineering, very exciting. Not just the music is beautiful, but also the whole atmospheric soundtrack that we have here. Simon Chilinsky did this when he was still working with the Subnautica team. All right, perhaps this is a very special base, by the way. We commented on this last time that this base seems to be missing a fourth leg. And while that's odd, I guess it's because of this groove here in the floor, it does actually do me the favor that I can approach it from this very corner and go, ooh, this is... I'm gonna dock my Seamoth in style. Thank you, robot. Very nice. We're back home. Oh. That, oh my god, that was a terrible experience. And I have a feeling it may have something to do with that new card, you know. I hate to say it, but these slightly overclocked cards, they sometimes get so hot that they just freak out. And I think when there's something like a kernel panic happening, then the game doesn't just crash, it just takes Windows and the whole BIOS down with it. So I think that's what may have happened. I've had this about 3 times today when I was playing Subnautica below zero, and I had kind of hoped that this wasn't gonna happen during this stream. So I'm very, very happy that YouTube is still online. That's very cool, and I'm glad that I could jump back on. But of course, what I'm a little bit concerned about is now what happened to the game. I mean, let's find out, shall we? Let's go and we've saved this at 6:03. That means the last 20 minutes or so are probably not going to be saved. Let's go and start this again, see what happens. That's the only thing we can do. Thanks for bearing with me there, everybody. This is it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Yes, overclocked cards have an issue as well, that when you render these things, when you play a game, it's usually fine because the games, unless you really hammer the GPU, they get this thing that they have a bit of a pause in between. So I'm using VSync. That means the graphics card doesn't produce frames as fast as it can. It'll wait. So it'll produce 1 frame as soon as the monitor's ready to be refreshed. And that usually gives the card enough time to kind of, chill down and not constantly do one cycle after the other. But when you get into the realms of 3D rendering and you start rendering a scene, then the GPU is usually hammered without there being any gaps for cooldown periods. So that's usually when overclocked cards don't work very well. With gaming, you can usually get away with it, but with 3D renders, there's often a chance that the render engine usually crashes. It shouldn't happen that it takes the whole game out. So it's kind of, it's funny to see that. I will see our technology, indeed, Rod. I will see how I can maybe clock the card a little bit slower to avoid these things from happening. Or, it's a brand new card. I can always send it back to the Amazon, and we'll take it from there. Let's keep watching this. I'm glad we're back. Let's see at which position in the game we are actually back. So we have a radio message here. Do we have, where are we? Drive room. Did we repair the drive core? Let's have a look at that. That was kind of fun. Yeah, that fire's kind of back here. So I think we're going to have to go and repair that drive core again. It was fun. Come on, it was fun. Let's do it again. Ditch that fire extinguisher immediately for being empty. Yeah, that's what you get for being empty. I'm still a bit concerned that the computer just goes and resets. I would like it if the game crashes and the stream is still steady, but that's just not the case. So anyway, drive core room. Oh yes, let's do this again. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the drive room of the Aurora with, 50, 60 foot high ceilings. Don't know why they need that much space in a room that has the equivalent to the flux capacitor in a spaceship, but hey. Let's grab the Cyclops engine efficiency module. Oh dear, we know what's coming. That's exactly who's at fault here, the cable-eating spiders. So I think now that I know that these flesh-eating monsters are going to attack me in a minute, let's go and do this. Laser cut repair tool, there we go, exactly. So we've got the knife and the repair tool. Great. I'm glad I saved this. Imagine I hadn't saved this and we would have to replay the whole thing. Hilarious. Oh my goodness. Ow. Do you know, that may be an idea. I mean, it's been stable so far. Well, when I say stable, except for during the gameplay. So, yeah, that's a good idea. I have a feeling if it's not the card, it could well be also dirty contacts in that old motherboard. I mean, the Z600 that I'm using with this card is literally, 10 years old. I've read a review earlier today that I have got the version with 24 gigabytes of memory. HP used to sell this with a slightly slower Xeon processor, with a couple of Xeon processors, and that configuration with 12 gigabytes was $8,000, $8,000 back in the day. Mine was $200 on eBay. Woo! So it could well be that. It could be a DUF card. It could also be that. I have a feeling it may be a combination of both. I will do that actually. Thank you for the tip. I will go and clean the contacts on the slot out, because I think the card, the Z600 came with an ATI graphics card, fairly old, of course, as well, and that was not in the slot that I'm using. So it could well be that this slot hasn't been used for 10 years, so that may well explain it. I've made a video about how I put this thing together, so I'll need some time to edit this, but there are so many exciting stories to tell you about retro technology and using it side by side with kind of cutting edge technology at the same time. One more to go. Come on, where is it? Anyone seeing any sparks flying? Yes, you were indeed. Man, where is the last spot? Come on, let's do this methodically. We don't want to blow up. Dude, how many of these things are here? It's terrible. Dude. Ay caramba. We do need to fix this sharpishly. Ah, there we go. Ah, found you. Come on. No biters, no bleeders. Let's just fix this thing. Get out of here. Ta-da! Woo! Radiation levels decreasing. I love it. That's music to my ears. Tell you what, after all that hard work, let's go and save the game, shall we? Just in case this happens again. Okay, let's beat a hasty retreat out of here. Whew. Yes, Christina, we're back. We're still with it. I'm so glad the stream survived. So thanks to YouTube there for not just assuming the stream had finished and cutting it off. So data loss is obviously acceptable to YouTube. That's good to know. I remember in the past when we stopped streams, then the URL would change. It was a bit convoluted there. It's kind of difficult on YouTube. There's two ways of going live. One is called Live Now or Go Live Now or something like that, and another one is scheduled events. And this is a scheduled event, which means I guess maybe that connection is a little bit more stable. By the way, I think this is a two-dimensional smoke effect here. No, deja vu. Sorry, just kidding. We're getting out of here now. Or, you know, perhaps it's a time limit. Maybe you can only play 2 hours a day. It's kind of an implemented timer that you go, no, you can't waste your life away with video games, you know, for 8 hours a day. That's not happening with the new RTX cards. Could also be. Let's hope it's not. All right, I'm gonna go and run past these crazy little critters. At least, Mr. Batsu, at least now we know where that sea glide is hiding. Hey, maybe I'll find it now. Ow. Deja vu. This is where I slipped. Okay, sea glide, where are you? Aha! Just like we remember it. Inventory full. Oh man, that's, you know, bizarre. Oh yes, of course, because I need to quickly go to the sea moth, put that thing away, or just take a med kit. That's a much better idea. There we go. Let's take a med kit, drink some water. There we go. Perfect. Room enough in the inventory to grab that sea glide. And just like before, let's just go and save ourselves a second or two. Ah, there we go. Before we go on board, let's place that depth crush module thingamajig, whatever it's called. There we go. Seamoth depth module Mark 1. Crush depth now 300 meters. How exciting. Let's go on board. And I hate to do this again, but let's just go and save the game again, because I can't really guarantee safe passage home otherwise. It's funny that those other crashes on below zero I've also had while I was in the equivalent vehicle there. They don't have the Seamoth, they have a sea truck, and that's exactly how it happened. I was just on my way back to the base and it just happened. Oh my goodness, yeah, can you imagine the Leviathan? He's just eating you up. That is bad. Can you imagine there's actually these real-time water effects that cause the card to overheat or something? The issue with a complete reset, of course, is also that there's no crash logs to investigate, because no kernel panic log module, whatever thingamajig script, would have had a chance to write down to disk what's gone wrong. It's literally just boom. So in case I won't make it, I'll just say goodbye right now. Let's think positive, come on. We're gonna make it. Were his last words. No, I'm joking. I'm still here. I'm still here. So, Christina, then, if you have the same issue with DAS, like you have previously told me that it was crashing, but I didn't know that it was in fact a computer reset. So that's the worst of it all. It could well be that, like Brian suggested, maybe we just take the card out and reinsert it once or twice, and also before we reinsert it, just clear those contacts out. What's going on here? This is my new hover base, everybody. I could have sworn that when we looked at this about 10 minutes ago, this thing was steadfastly attached to the floor like it is now. Excellent. One day we'll see these things in reality and we're thinking, hey, what's going on here? We're living in a giant computer simulation. Okay, let's just make sure we don't slip off again and stay on here. Woo-hoo! It's great to be back, isn't it? I love being back. Yes, and also let's not forget. Let's put that keep calm poster somewhere nice. Preferably right in here when we leave our sea moth. The first thing I want to see is not this crazy natural selection poster. I may just get rid of that actually. I want a nice stay calm poster right here with the kitty cat on. Shame we can't clone this. I'd like a few more copies of this. Oh my god. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. We have so many blueprints, so many things that we can fritter away now. Batteries, for example. I mean, and we've got more batteries on the Aurora. So I think we should make a dedicated battery cupboard. Let's do that. Let's create one. Do we have that habitat builder with us? We do. What we don't have is titanium to build that. Well, let's just go and pick that up from, not from the lithium locker, obviously. Perhaps the diamond locker? No. The random locker. Let's do that. So, great. Let's put another locker here. And it's going to be the power locker. Like that. Woo! Batteries. Whoops. Can't see the keyboard here. Is that spelled correctly? Batteries. There we go. Actually, let's give it a color as well. Green, as in charged batteries. Can you imagine? We have one red locker for empty batteries, and we have one that's. Oh my god. So this is empty. So we're going to only put charged batteries in here, and the empty ones. There we go. The empty one can go in the battery charger. Wow, so many batteries. I love it. That can go in here. That's very cool. And then everything else that we have, all the other devices here. This guy, 98% is good, but this gets a brand new battery. Light gets a brand new battery. Repair tool. You've done good work, my friend. Very good, very good. We'll do that, and we put these half-empty batteries immediately on charge as well. Very important. There. Nice. What else we got? Oh yes, all these things. Like, you know, cuddly toy and stuff. Cyclops engine efficiency module. I don't even know what we can do with that. It is so cool. Yes. Well, shall we go check that radio message, or shall we do that next time? Let's do it next time. Let's do it next time. Let's go sit down and just be happy with what we've achieved so far. I think that's a much better idea. What do you think? Let's go and save that game. Listen to that nice music, and I think we're going to call it a day here. I mean, we've been on the air nearly 3 hours. That was a good stream, I have to say. That was a very, very good stream. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me today, and I'll investigate that computer reset crash thing. That's a very interesting thing. I've never had that with my other Z600, which is, by the way, still very much alive, I must say. It's I've identified the problem on that, by the way, and that was the fact that I had a USB 3 controller in there, and the USB 3 controller was kind of, when I pushed cables in, the controller dislodged. So it wasn't inserted properly. That led to the fact that the power supply couldn't quite say, hey, was something weird going on here. So that's the reason. So I've still got that, and it's still on my network. So I have a full backup that I can go and slot in if and when I need it. So yes, if the RTX 2080 adventures don't go so well, I can always go back to my GTX 970. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging with me today. It'll be exciting. I'm going to play around with the Mixer idea. I may call that Mixer Mondays, and we're going to play some other game on Mixer on a Monday, just to see if that latency is in fact good. We'll play around with some options. I'm also going to have an eye on this Restream.io option, Restream.io, to do one stream and kind of channel it out to multiple platforms at the same time. Join me next Friday for sure for the next 3D Shenanigans stream, and of course Subnautica Saturday next Saturday. And if there's anything in between, I will let you know. Watch those social feeds. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.